Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So happy Monday. Welcome to another market open stream 1 minute before market bell rings. And today I got to talk about what is going to determine Bitcoin's move this week. There's actually several things that are happening this week. So let's talk about what's the most important and how Bitcoin will react to it. So, let's get started. Welcome, guys. Again, 1 minute before market bell, U.S. market looks pretty red today. Dow down 161, NASDAQ down 125. Bitcoin, it's about the same as yesterday, 22.8. So, Bitcoin has been trying to stay strong. Alts are a little bit weaker, and the market bell has just rung. It still works, guys. Haven't changed the battery for like 3 years. But moving on. So what is affecting markets this week? Well, we have that dreaded man that's going to be talking once again, Fed Chair Powell. We just got done with the FOMC meeting, but it seems like there's like a tour of FOMC governors speaking this week, including Fed Chair Powell. He's going to be talking at some other kind of economic forum tomorrow at noon. Then you have, look at it, member Barr, member Williams, member Waller twice, and then member Harker. And these are all board governors. And I don't know why every single one is talking this week. It's like we got clear direction from Powell last week, okay? Why do they need to clarify more? So, I mean, this is what I don't get. It's like they're going on tour, and of course, the markets will be listening to see if each one of these guys, I think most importantly, Powell, what they're going to say this week that may have not been said last week, right? But that shouldn't be the case. There should be nothing new said. It's not like we got any new economic data or anything since last week. So I think this is the most important thing, and that is probably the reason why today we may end up red, or we may end up just doing nothing, because tomorrow we have Chair Powell talking once again, you know, and people are getting, they're just freaking out over it for some reason. But outside of this, we do have some earnings. We have some big companies like Disney, Pepsi, Uber set to report. Okay, of course, earnings season so far has been mixed. Some companies doing really, really well. Some companies doing not so well, right? And even in the same sector, even like, say, tech. Some have done well, like Microsoft has done well. Tesla has done really well. But then you have like Apple and Google not doing well, right? So it's kind of mixed across the board. But I guess, you know, we'll get some indication of how the broader economy, I guess, the broader scope of the economy, how it really is once these companies report and others report. But here's the good news. S&P 500 forms a golden cross, okay? Now, normally speaking, golden crosses are very, very good. And it's the same with Bitcoin. The 50 is crossing over a 200 weekly moving average, and that traditionally is a very bullish sign. So we do have that going. Now, it's not always bullish, but traditionally speaking, it is. Okay, so today, this week, right, we may get some volatility because of Chair Powell, because of earnings, but overall, the market is definitely moving in the right direction, which is upwards. Now, there's one other thing. I don't know if I would call this an event, but this is something that sway markets. Remember, last week, Jim Cramer said, buy, because he believes we're in a bull market and we should buy and keep buying, right? That's kind of how Jim Cramer is. And I said, I was a little afraid of that because usually if you do the inverse Cramer, you do better than the non-inverse Cramer, just regular Cramer, right? And then I saw he tweeted this today. It does not take too long for the market to go negative. It's already redigested Friday's news and decided that the Fed will tighten and create a recession no matter what. So this is actually better because now you have Jim Cramer going from 1 week to super bullish to another week this week being super bearish. So now it's good because now he's super bearish and maybe the market could actually turn up because of this. I mean, Jim Cramer just flip-flops every single week, it seems like. You really don't know. He just goes. His emotions are just like a retail investor. He just follows what retail investors do, which is to flip-flop left and right mostly, right? But anyways, as for Bitcoin created a whole bunch of FOMO recently after it broke above 20,000. According to this article, 620,000 new Bitcoin wallet addresses. That's a lot, more than 500,000. And keep in mind, this is just within a matter of weeks. Okay, remember, early January and December, horrible for Bitcoin. Only started turning up like, second, third week of January. And that's when things got exciting, right? And of course, you draw in a whole bunch of people with FOMO, which is also good and not so good. You don't want people just FOMO in due to FOMO. You want them to actually FOMO in, but really truly understand why they're coming in and why it's important to stay in and why Bitcoin, is the asset that everyone wants to get a piece of, right? So hopefully people that are coming in are learning, but we definitely have a lot more new people coming into this space. But, the existing people, including the whales, what they have been doing is buying. Ever since Bitcoin started climbing down, you could see the number of addresses with 10,000 Bitcoins actually climbing. Because what the whales do is accumulate while everyone else is panicking and accumulating a lot. I mean, this is 10,000 Bitcoin plus, okay? This is your actual whale if you hold 10,000 Bitcoin plus. And look at it. Ever since, they found a bottom right around Bitcoin's peak. And since Bitcoin's fall, they have been buying more and more and more and more. So whales are still accumulating, and that's good. Also, part of the growing fundamental of Bitcoin, Lightning Network capacity breaks to an all-time high. So you can see there, right? Lightning Network is relatively new compared to Bitcoin, but this is essentially a layer 2 that offers instantaneous and feeless transactions around the world, and you have dApps like the Strike app that are utilizing Lightning Network, and Cash App is also utilizing Lightning Network, and many other wallets are trying to integrate it, but by utilizing Lightning Network, basically you can send Bitcoin anywhere in the world, almost in this instantaneous confirmation, and basically feeless. So it is definitely growing by leaps and bounds right now, which is also fantastic stuff. And then here's another interesting one. This is the Hashinashi indicator. And, well, I think this chart explains it all. We had five straight weeks of green. That's pretty good. And you can see previous times when we had a little bit of recovery, it was more like 4 weeks. And they were, like, generally speaking, really, really weak weeks, right? But we had 5 strong weeks. Will we continue? We're definitely, one thing's for sure, we're definitely in an uptrend right now. We have gained the momentum back, right? So if nothing else, this shows that. Good stuff. All right, what else is there? Ethereum activity has also picked up, and there's a lot of excitement over the Shanghai upgrade, which is coming in March, which will allow people to unstake. But in the meantime, you still have a lot of activity going on, a lot of DeFi activity, a lot of NFT activity, which has increased over the last few weeks. And that is the reason why it has become deflationary and keeps burning more and more and more and more. Last time I showed you guys this, it was like minus 8,000 something. Now we're almost minus 10,000. That's a lot being taken out of circulation, and no new ETH hitting the circulation too. So the burning is definitely in effect, and as the bull market comes back, this will increase dramatically. So this is definitely working right now. What else is there? BNB, besides Ethereum, BNB Activity is heading higher. In fact, if you look at this, 30% year over year. So BNB is the second largest ecosystem right behind Ethereum, even though the Binance Smart Chain is EVM compatible. It is EVM compatible, but it's kind of its own separate thing. They don't really have a lot of integration. In fact, Binance Chain doesn't have a lot of integration with anyone. They could have integration with Cosmos because they're built with the Cosmos SDK. They could also have more integration with Ethereum, but they really don't. They kind of want to stay in their own realm, but that doesn't mean that won't change in the future. But anyways, there are a lot of activity going on. Of course, Uniswap recently wanted to vote to move Uniswap 3 to BNB, but one of their biggest investors, A16Z, just voted, used their whole, entire holdings of Uniswap and voted no. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but BNB is definitely very overlooked, very overlooked. And lastly, speaking of Binance, for those of you guys that are interested in calculating your taxes and doing it legitly, well, Binance is introducing a free tax calculating software for you. I don't know how this is going to work, but and I don't think it's on Binance.us. It's just Binance.com, but just thought I'd mention it because some people started asking me about how to calculate taxes, in preparation of the next few months. Well, Binance is going to help you with that. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What is the market at right now? NASDAQ minus 7.5%. Excuse me. Dow minus 0.42%. Overall crypto market cap down slightly. Down slightly. It's only 1% down. So 1.06 overall, still okay. Pretty okay. But this will definitely, I think this will definitely dictate the direction of the market this week. But we won't know until tomorrow. All right, let's do some Q&A. Bad Sunshine. I'm convinced Kramer gets paid to push narratives. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure CNBC is kind of telling him which direction to go. All right, let's see here. Someone says Tesla is pumping. Is Tesla pumping today? Let's see. Tesla is pumping today. Good thing. I loaded up a little more on Friday. I loaded up a little more on Tesla, a little bit more on Coinbase. Because I really feel like there's very little stocks I'm interested in right now. But Coinbase is one of them because Coinbase is going to come up as the crypto market comes up. So a big opportunity there, and it looks like it could be turning green. But Tesla also, because of how oversold it is, and they are just so ahead in the EV game, it's not even close. All right. All right, getting caught up here. Baron Rothschild said, the time to buy is when there's blood in the streets, including your own. Yeah, you got to add that last part. And there's plenty of blood in the streets right now. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's not just him. A lot of famous investors have said something along the lines of that. You know, sometimes it's just bad. Sometimes you may even be bleeding, okay? But that is the golden time to be buying, right? And we had plenty of that in 2022, even early 2023, you know, when Bitcoin fell down, right, to 15, 16,000. We stayed at 16, 17,000 for a long time. A lot of people gave up hope, but a lot of people did not also and continued DCA. And that is exactly what you're supposed to do. What do you think on a death cross on the week? There's no death cross on the week. There's a golden cross. Any thoughts on Engine? Injective. You know what? I don't really have a lot of thoughts on Injective. They're kind of a L1 within the Cosmos ecosystem. I think it helps Cosmos more than anything. They're kind of like an L1 for finance. Oh, look at this. Back by Mark Cuban. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But, yeah, I don't think much of it. I just think that it overall helps Cosmos. Because Cosmos is a growing cosmos of dApps and L1s. And they're one of the bigger ones. Isaac, Morning George just bought more ADA. Well, good. Good for you. Let's see. Jack, I hope you're trolling, man. I mean, it was clear that leaked audio of Michael Saylor is fake. It's pretty obvious it was fake. It would have been more realistic if at the end he didn't talk about how he bought some pudgy penguins and how he should have bought ETH and all that stuff. It would have been more realistic if it wasn't that. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that Altcoin Daily actually posted that audio. I was asking my team; they saw that audio posted last week, but it was clear that it was fake. So that's why I was caught off guard yesterday when people were asking me about it. But yeah, I'm glad no one took it seriously because it was clearly fake. But it kind of shows you the dangers of AI. If it gets to one point where you can't tell the difference, well, then it's gonna be real scary. Do you think the price of sand will be greatly affected because of the token unlock on Valentine's Day? It could. It could. It's a tremendous amount being unlocked. Generally speaking, when you have large token unlocks, there's a lot of fear. Some of the teams, created those unlock periods very early on, right? Years ago, and now it's happening. But a lot of times, if they want to reassure the community, they'll just go ahead and relock it for another 5 years or something. So it's not like something they need. But sometimes those unlock are going to early investors and stuff, so they can't relock it. But possibly. I've covered that last week. Brock says, what's the other platform you're on besides Rumble? Twitch? To be honest, I'm thinking about stopping streaming on both Rumble and Twitch because they're a pain to set up every time and there's no growth on them. So I'm just warning you guys. I may just stop altogether one of these days. Sheep gained 76% in the last 30 days. Any chance Sheep drops a 0 in 2023? I mean, there's a chance. Yeah. I mean, to drop a 0, they have to do a 10x. They have to go to like 80 billion. I mean, there's a chance, but probably not until the next bull market. Probably not until like 2025, not in 2023. Is it possible for crypto to consolidate into fewer chains and upgrades will replace some L2s? Sure. A lot of L2s, they probably won't die, but they will never get big and they just kind of just like become forgotten. It could definitely be like that. A lot of L2s, L1s could be like that. So yeah, I don't know about consolidation. It's not like they're going to be bought out, but I think a lot of the bigger ones will continue to get stronger and have all the momentum, and the smaller ones just kind of drift off into the sunset. Any thoughts on a Porsche Cayman? I don't know. Never driven one before. I just kind of think if you're going to get a Porsche, just get a 911. Ben Sachs says, I think the stock guy is the only person with traction on Twitch for anything stock crypto. Maybe. But yeah, it's just Twitch is just not a good platform for crypto. It's just no one cares on Twitch. What do you think about Jasmine? They have ex-Sony executives running it and getting into AI now. People have asked that before. I just don't know enough about Jasmine. So I'll look into it. See, right now, a lot of AI projects have the momentum, mainly because of speculation. And I anticipate a lot of companies will say they're getting into AI just to hop on that bandwagon. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know enough about Jasmine to talk about it. Lisk is a forgotten 2016. Yeah, no one talks about Lisk. Yeah, so I have not caught up with them. Best place to resell a used performance car? Just throw on the cars.com and Facebook Marketplace. Unless you're talking about like putting on an auction site like, what's that site? Bring a Trailer or something? I don't know if it's worth the hassle. If I claim a standard deduction, can I still write off 3,000 losses on my taxes? Yes. If you're talking about like, like a crypto loss or something, like a realized loss or a capital loss, yeah, you could write off up to 3,000 if you're in the U.S. up to 3,000 per year, and then it carries over, right? Doge chain. Doge community does not seem to support Doge chain. So it's supposed to be a L2 for Doge, but it's more like a cash grab, I think, at this point. You can see the circulating supply is ridiculously low out of the max supply and total supply. And I don't hear anyone in the Doge community talk about it. So I don't think they're going to survive. Howard, appreciate it. What if we lost hundreds of thousands on Voyager? It sucks. I don't know what you're expecting, but you'll probably get some of that back once the buyout happens with Binance.us. So just got to wait for that. You could get a substantial amount back, maybe 70% back. So I don't think it's all lost. And I think it's the same thing with the others too. But it's got to wait and see. Hidden Rage, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Any info on Harmony? Yeah, all the info has been bad, so I'm off the Harmony bandwagon. There's actually, someone sent me an article that's pretty damning about how they've been screwing a lot of the developers, a lot of projects that they promised funding and they didn't give it to them. And plus on top of the hack and stuff like that. So I'm not bullish on Harmony anymore. Do you have a Seiko watch collection? No, I did not. I did not. I like to get into watches. I have a few nice ones, but you know, it's an expensive hobby. Very expensive hobby for sure. Yeah, I don't think the markets go do much until tomorrow. Until this guy speaks. Everyone's wondering what he's going to say. I mean, what else can he say? He said everything he was going to last week. You know, so I don't know what the market is expecting. Mike, I still recall Alex Mazinski going on various YouTube channels and sounding so charming and saying good things about Celsius. Yeah. You know, that's the one thing. Him and his team tried to get him on my channel many times, and I've always declined. Well, not because I really knew that he was shady at that point. It was just because I didn't do interviews. But they did try a lot, right? And that's how Celsius got all its fame, because people trusted him because he was doing all these interviews, right? But it kind of shows you these guys. You gotta be careful. What turned me off about Celsius later on was when all these reports came out about other members of the team being associated with other failed projects that turned out to be scams, and that really, you know, got me scared. So, and afraid of the project overall. But yeah, it sucks. Out of all the ones that fell, I think Celsius probably will pay out the least. It seems like they're in the hole the biggest. And now people are going after Mashinsky himself for fraud. I think the New York, one of the district attorneys going after him. So, yeah, just not a good situation. But I think BlockFi and Gemini, they're going to end up being able to pay a lot out back to the people. But I think Celsius will probably be the least. Kyrie to Dallas, I'll tell you that people are cheering, saying, "Oh yeah, that's a good trade." No, just watch. By the end of this season, Luka is going to say, no, not even before the end of the season. He's going to hate it. Kyrie's going to hate it. Kyrie still thinks he's like a 1A. He's probably going into it thinking I'm 1A and Luka's 1B. No, that's not the case. Luka's 1A and Kyrie's 1B, and he's not gonna like that. Him and Durant were friends. He's not friends with Luka. Luka is ball dominant, and Kyrie wants to be ball dominant, and it's not gonna work. I think the only reason why Mark Cuban did this is due to fears that Luka will leave after this season, so they want at least one star player. So Luka will probably leave because the Mavs will not win again, and I think that's the only reason why they did it. We need 50K to become a new 20K bottom. Well, that will happen after the next cycle. After Bitcoin hits its new all-time high by the end of 2025, then it will come down again, just like all previous cycles. Probably in 2026, it will come down, and who knows if it still falls 70-something%. If it does, yeah, I'll probably place Bitcoin around 50,000 as the new bottom. Something like that. Could be a little lower. It could be like 40,000 or something like that. But every single time Bitcoin forms a bottom, it's a higher bottom than the previous bottom by a lot. Crypto Coach K, I mean, just shut the hell up, all right? You think you know basketball better than me? I've been watching it for like 30 years. Not to say that I'm the most knowledgeable, but your arrogancy irritates me, and I'm putting you in timeout. Any predictions for the speech? I think there's just a whole bunch of nothing. I don't think he's going to say anything. What else can he say? He said everything he was going to say last week. So, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to say, but I don't think it's going to be any different. He can't all of a sudden become hawkish again and say, oh, yeah, ignore what I said last week. We're going to continue to be hawkish going forward. I mean, he's not going to say something like that. Chad, that's because I hold it in. And sometimes I can't hold it in anymore. If I had a channel where I was just doing a regular podcast, I would not be so nice. I would be calling people out left and right, throwing F-bombs left and right. That's the true George. I'm just joking. No, that's not the true me. Or maybe it is. If you meet me, you'll see. All right. It seems like there's nothing. Bitcoin, let's see. It's still holding. Bitcoin's not doing much right now. Maybe he will increase it 50 basis points. No, he won't. I think the worst case scenario is we have 25 basis points for another 2 meetings. He's not going to all of a sudden go to 50 basis points in March. There's no way in hell. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think it's going to be March, 25 basis points, and the one after that maybe 25 basis points. But if we get 2 more CPI readings and they both show inflation dropping at least 0.5% each time, and it's not even slowing down, then the next 25 basis point will be the last one. Why didn't the Lakers get Kyrie? They probably wanted him, but couldn't get a deal done. When you went to Bahamas, were you near SBS Condo? No, at the time I didn't even know he was in the Bahamas. Anyway, they spent the whole time in the resort, so I didn't go anywhere. But I had no idea at the time that he was there in his mansion. Crypto Hound, good morning. Lakers didn't have enough. Joe's side did not want to accommodate Kyrie. Probably. No one wants to. Kyrie's probably going to retire soon, to be honest. I don't know. He has a lot of things going on. And I don't think basketball is really like his main concentration anymore. In June, did you panic sell? No. I made some moves. I definitely made some moves. I flipped between a few, swapped a few coins for other coins, consolidated a little more into Bitcoin. You know, throughout 2022, made some moves. But I don't do that many moves now, right? But I did. Not a fan of reserve rights. There's just a stable coin backed by several stable coins. I don't even see the need for that. It seems kind of pointless to me. And thoughts on Fetch AI. I just did a whole video about AI. I think just yesterday. If you guys didn't see that, if you're asking about AI, check out yesterday's video. All right, guys, let's call it a stream. Looks like the market wants to flip upwards, so that's good. That's good. But overall, this week, I think what will move Bitcoin and entire market is that big press conference tomorrow once again. And then you have a tour of all these other members talking. I don't know why you have so many people talking this week, but you do. And then you got some earnings, right? And then you have Jim Cramer turning bearish again. These are all things we got to watch out for. But inverse Cramer has been pretty good so far. Do you think the China spy balloon deal this weekend brought down markets? No. I don't see. That has nothing to do with markets at all. I don't know why people think it does. No, it's not going to put the U.S. and China into war. No, it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect anything. If anything, it's a diversion to get us to look another way, right? That whole thing is just so silly, and there's another intent to that for sure. I just don't know what it is. I don't think any of us will know, but it's a diversion of some sorts for sure. All right, guys. Have a good one. I will see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll talk more crypto and Bitcoin and markets. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.